Hi everybody, this is Crystal. Today I'm going to show you how to make this sugar cookie face scrubby. You can make like a set of 3 or 4, and I think it'd be cool paired with some like facial sugar scrub, you know, that stuff that people make, and make a really nice gift since it's a sugar cookie. Be real cute. Or you could use it to wash dishes or whatever. It's made out of cotton. And it's super easy. Be great for a beginner. That's about the size of it. It's probably about 4 inches or so across. 4.5, something like that. So I'll show you what I used. You can use, you know, any colors of, you know, the icing you want. I just use different brands of 100% cotton. If you want to use cotton, if you're going to be using it for washing dishes or for your face or, you know, anything like that, you want to use cotton. Because that's what's best. But I used Crafter's Secret, so it doesn't, you don't have to use that brand, and whatever color you want also. And then I'm using a size I, which is a 5.5mm crochet hook. Okay, you want to start, I'm going to make the bottom cookie first. So you want to start with the slip knot on your hook. And then we're going to do a chain of 4. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. You can use the magic circle here if you'd like. And then I'm going to chain 1. Now what I'm going to do is work 12 double crochet through the center of that ring. So I'm going to yarn over and go right through the center of the ring and work a double crochet. So I'm going to do that 12 times. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, once you got your 12 double crochets, you want to go ahead and slip stitch into your first double crochet. Not the chain one we did. The chain one does not count as anything. So go ahead and slip stitch into that first double, and you should have 12 double crochets at the end of round 1. You can pull your tail, close up that circle a little bit, and then you can sew it more together at the end of the project. Now for round 2, we're going to chain 1, which does not count as anything, and I'm going to work 2 double crochets right there into that same stitch. So right back into that same stitch goes 2 double crochets. So there's 1, and there's 2. Now I'm going to work 2 double crochets in every stitch all the way around. Just like this. And I'm going to continue working 2 double crochets in every stitch until I get back to the beginning. And when I get back to the beginning, I should have a total of 24 double crochets at the end of round 2. Okay, when you make it to the end of round 2 and you have your 24 double crochets, go ahead and end with the slip stitch into your first double, not the chain 1, but the first double, like that, and that'll end round 2. Now for round 3, we're going to start by chaining 1, and we're going to go right back into that same spot right there, and we're going to do 1 double crochet. Now in the next stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. And in the next stitch, we'll put 1 double crochet. And the next stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. And this is the pattern we're going to repeat for round 3. 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And then 2 double crochets into the next. 1 double into the next. And then 2 doubles into the next. And you want to repeat this all the way around until you get back to the beginning. 1 double and then 2 doubles. 1 double and then 2 doubles. Okay, once you make it to the end of round 3 and you have 36 double crochet, what you want to do is end with the slip stitch into your first double crochet. And now what I'm going to do is chain 1 for round 4, and I'm going to go back in that same stitch and double crochet. And then I'm going to put 1 double crochet into the next stitch, And now into the next stitch, I'm going to put 2 single crochets. So there's 1 and 2. Now I'm going to put 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 double, and then a double into the next. And the next one is going to get 2 single crochets into the same stitch. And that's going to be my repeat. 1 double in the next 2 stitches. So 1 double, 1 double, and the next one is going to get 2 singles. And I'm going to repeat that all the way around. 1 double, 2 singles. 1 double, 2 singles. All the way back around. It kind of gives a little bit of a kind of a wavy texture, because to make it look like a sugar cookie. I guess sugar cookies aren't always completely round unless you use cutouts. I never do. So but all the way around. 1 double, 2 singles. 1 double, 2 singles until you get back to the beginning. When you make it to the end of round 4, you should have ended in 2 single crochets. And now we're going to slip stitch into our first double crochet, and you should have 48 stitches now at the end of round 4. And now I'm going to tie this off. So that's our Scrubby cookie scrub base. So now we can make the icing. So it's pretty much kind of similar. So we'll set this to the side, and we're going to start out with the chain. Start out the slip knot. I'm sorry, and then start out with the chain of 4. And then we're going to slip stitch into our first, to form a ring, our first stitch. And then we're going to chain 1. And now we're going to work 12 double crochets through the center of the ring. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 'kay, once you get your 12 double crochets through the center, we're going to end by slip stitching into our first double crochet, not that chain 1, and you'll have 12 double crochets there at the end of round 1. Pull that to make it smaller, and of course you can always sew it together at the end. Now we're going to chain 1, and for round 2 we're going to do the same thing that we did for the cookie part. We're going to go right back into that same stitch and do 2 double crochets into the same stitch. And now we're going to work 2 double crochets in every stitch all the way back around to the beginning. So I'm going to continue working 2 double crochets in every stitch until I get to the end, and I should have a total of 24 double crochets at the end of round 2. Okay, once you make it to the end of round 2 and you have your 24 double crochets, end them with the slip stitch into your first double. Now this round we're going to put a little wavy edge on the icing. This is going to be a bit different than the way we did it for the cookie. So we're going to chain 1. Now we're going to go right back into that same stitch, and we're going to put a single crochet into it. And now we're going to skip 1 stitch, and in the next stitch we're going to put 4 double crochets all in that next stitch. So we skipped 1, and we're going to put 4 in the next. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to skip 1 again, and we're going to single into the next. So we skipped 1 and single. Now we're going to skip 1 and put 4 doubles into the next. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, we're going to skip 1 and put a single crochet into the next. Skip 1 and 4 doubles into the next. So this is what we're going to repeat for round 3. Skip 1 and single into the next. Skip 1 and work 4 doubles into the next. So just go ahead and repeat this until you get to the end of round 3. Okay, when you make it to the end of round 3, you should have done 4 doubles into the same stitch. You should have 1 stitch left to skip. Skip that and go ahead and slip stitch into your first single crochet. Not the chain one, but the first single crochet. And now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these little fans that have 4 double crochets in them. Now we're going to tie off, but you want to tie off the long tail because we're going to clip that off, and we're going to use it for sewing the icing on to the cookie. So I left a long tail, probably like 2 feet. That's probably way too long, but just so I know I have enough. So you want to take your yarn needle and load up your yarn onto it. Bring your main cookie over here and then place this on. And it's okay if these turn up a little bit because we're going to sew them down. So I give it a little bit of stretch. And you want to sew this up to your center circle. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick before I sew it on. Just give that a little bit of a sew from the behind, and then it will close up that circle and also hide that tail. And there we go. So I'll cut that off. Okay, do a little bit of stretch. Place my icing on here like this. And it don't have to be perfect. You know, when you make sugar cookies, icing is never perfect. I guess unless you're a baker. They always look really good when you see them in bakeries and then or on Pinterest, and I try to make them and they're all like this, looking like this, icing running everywhere. But that's okay. They still taste just as good. So just place it on here and just kind of go through it and sew it on. Now if you don't want your stitches to be seen from the back, kind of go through halfway through that stitch like that, and then go back through the next stitch, go over to the next stitch and kind of go, don't go all the way through, kind of halfway, and then go up through the next stitch and like that, and that'll sew it on, and you shouldn't see too much of your stitches on the back. Now if it helps you, which it'll probably help me, to pin your icing down, I'm going to go ahead and do that. That way it doesn't move around too much on me. I can get it where I want it to be. And then I'm just going to go around and sew my icing on to my cookie. Ow. Poke my finger while I'm at it. There we go. Now, if you don't mind your white showing through the other side, it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to go, okay, so I just went through this stitch, so I'm going to jump over to the next one, and I'm going to pull it back, and I'm just going to go halfway through the stitch. I'm not going to go, like, poke it all the way through. Just kind of go halfway through it, like that. And then I'm going to go over to the next stitch and go halfway through it, and then go back through the next stitch on the icing. Like that. And again, I'm going to go into the next stitch, and then back here on the back of the main cookie, kind of go halfway through the stitch like that, and then go to the next stitch and kind of go halfway through it, and then go through the next stitch here on the icing. And I'm going to do this all the way around. I can move my pins as I go, but then now you can't really see your stitches on the back. So go into the next one and halfway through the stitch, just the top half. And then you go over to the next stitch to go through the top half here, and then the next stitch on the icing. Just like that. And I'm going to do this all the way around until all my icing is sewed on. Okay, once you get done sewing on your icing, you can hide in all your tails, and then that's it. You got a little sugar cookie face scrubby paired with some, like a set of like 3 or 4 of them, 4 of them probably, 3 or 4, I don't know. However many you want to put in the set, 10 if you wanted to. Pair them with some like face, that sugar scrub stuff for your face. That'd be a really cute Christmas gift. So that's it. It's super easy. My little sugar cookie. You don't even have to use it for your face. You can wash dishes with it or whatever, but my little sugar cookie scrubby. But thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel too. Don't forget to check out all my other tutorials. By subscribing, you'll get notifications whenever I put on a new tutorial. And yeah, don't forget to check them out. I have like over 400 of them right now. Or just, I got hundreds of them. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook. Give me a like there where you can post all your crochet items. And I'd really like to see a picture of them. And until next time, have a good day.